pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We have 3 items in new business. I think we'll just go ahead and take those from.
I have a motion for consideration of 3 items of new business.
Have a second. Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Well, it's 3 items of new business, and that should take care of it when we go through our regular agenda. We have General Services, County Manager's Office, Professional Service Contract for BECC Incorporated Building Inspection Service, authorizing the Commission President to execute a professional service contract for our General Services Department. Number 2 is out of District 5, an Economic Development JCEIDA loan agreement between the county and JCEIDA for $850,000 for purchase of land that we talked about maybe last week. And then D4 is a community grant for Culture City for Commissioner Knight, amount of $17,500 with sensory training for events in Jefferson County.
Move 1, 2, 3.
Have a motion, second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Now we can go to District 5 and let you do your business.
All right.
We'll go backwards.
District 5 is the economic, talking about not my regular order, but this special order. Mr. President, you talking about this?
Yes, you go ahead and do your.
Okay. We got two members here available for questions. We have Jeff, and we also have Othel. Mr. President, this is a loan agreement between the County Commission and JCEIDA for monies for the properties that we talked about last time. These are, as best I recall, adjacent to the interstate, in between it and the connecting road to the property for Jeff Met North that we already have. And Jeff, please add to that anything you think we need.
Certainly. So, as you all know, we're in the process of developing a new industrial park in the northern part of the county. And we had the opportunity to acquire some additional land adjacent to that park, right at the intersection of Barber Boulevard and Interstate 65. This would be a loan agreement to JCIDA to acquire that property and combine it with the rest of the property we have over there to expand the footprint of the park. Othel Phillips with JCIDA is here. In case anybody has any questions, we have answers.
You know you're just doing it. We've already approved this.
Oh.
Yes.
We just voted on it.
We did vote on it. I was just going to let you know that sometimes it's best, least is best.
Yeah, can we change our vote now?
No takesies backsies.
We approved all 3 items in new business.
Okay.
So we're good. When I said that, I wanted him to do his regular order of business, which we got Smart Way Jobs Incentive Agreement. That would be you too, wouldn't it?
That would be me as well.
All right, that's what you need.
All right, so we're good with this.
We're good with others.
Okay.
So next up is a proposed job grant incentive for an existing minority-owned company here in District 2. The company is SmartWiz. They are a software development company specializing in tax prep software. The company has been here in the downtown area for a while, and they are looking to grow their operations locally. With the addition of 60 new jobs with an average wage of $36 an hour, which is about $70,000 a year. We are proposing a jobs grant. We capped it at $52,500 in order to meet our city-county ratio on the incentives. The city is also participating with a job grant as well. With us today is Raymond James, the attorney for the company, in case anybody has any questions.
Yeah, kind of describe how it works briefly, just if you will.
Yeah, so the cool thing about SmartWiz was the name of the company is that they've been approved by the IRS to allow individuals to file directly with the IRS. So there are 14 companies that have received this approval. And so what SmartWiz is it's a piece of software that allows individuals to prepare taxes for other people. Think of TaxSlayer or TurboTax in the same vein. So this will allow any individual who wants to prepare taxes for other folks to do so and file with the IRS.
And how does the incentives work if we're teaching people how to file tax returns?
So the incentive would be the typical jobs incentive. They would have to create the jobs, hold on to those positions for at least a year, and then report back to us with a certification showing that they've hired those individuals. Then we would turn around and do the payment on the jobs. So typical jobs grant, really no different from what we've done on other projects.
And just to clarify, the jobs would go to growing the company. So the software is what's sold to individuals. The company creates the software. And so to make the company larger, these jobs would go towards that, preparing the software, creating the software.
Okay.
I have a question for Jeff. What are the last 3 job incentive programs that we've done through the office? You don't have to give it to me now, but I would like to get it
I'll give
later.
that to you. I don't remember.
I just need to see what districts they're from, number one, which is I think this is a good, but we want to make sure that all of our districts are included in that, and what are the requisites that we have before you can apply for this?
So the requisites is.
You can just give that to me later, or unless everyone else wants to know now. That, because it seems like we do one here and then we'll do another one somewhere else. And I don't know what it takes. So if I were in business, or if I was trying to grow my business, I'd be out there, I'd be knocking on your door.
Yeah, so typically, and it will take a second, I mean, typically what we're looking for are projects that are going to create 50 new jobs that are making at least $50,000 a year or more. And then we have a stair-stepping formula. So if a company's coming in and they're creating a position that's paying $50,000, the jobs grant will be about $2,000 per position. At $75,000, that goes to $3,000. If they're paying more than $100,000 per position, that goes to $4,000 per job. It's a one-time deal. They have to create the position, hold on to it for a year, then they get a payout, and then they also have to maintain those jobs for a period of time thereafter.
And over the last year, I mean,
We've probably done maybe 4 or 5 over the past year.
okay.
On this, is this a one-time thing, or is this going to be something that will be perpetually?
It's a one-time thing. So it goes to the new jobs that are created in the county. It's a one-time payout. Again, they have to maintain the jobs, and there's clawbacks. So if they don't maintain the jobs, or if they don't hit their jobs goals, we don't pay out. If they don't maintain them, then there's clawbacks, and we recapture.
Is the word. Move the item.
Think further?
Move the item. Move the item.
So,
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that's all for District 5, Mr. President. Thank you.
you've got,
I move 1, 2, 3 on this.
on these,
Oh,
on
excuse
the grants,
Second.
have a motion, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I don't know why I did that,
Thank you.
but, Commissioner Knight,
Yes, sir.
you the man.
All right, finance, Ms. Dixon.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have 8 items under finance. We have our unusual demand report, our encumbrance report, purchasing exception report, purchasing agenda report, and we have a renewal for foreign language services, and that provides translation services for any county departments that need it.
All right, do I have a motion? 1 through 8.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, budget.
We have our multiple staff development, individual staff development, and information items.
Do I have a motion?
Move the item.
Have a motion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. All right, Developmental Services, Z 250017, Mr. Morrison.
Good morning, Commissioners. Case number 17 is a request to downzone a property that's currently on C1 commercial. This is out near Center Point Parkway. The property was on commercial sometime, I believe, back in the 1980s, and it's currently used as a residence and has a residence on it, so it's just a simple downzoning. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended it.
I move it.
Second.
Have a motion second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. 0018.
Yes, this is a property on Rocky Ridge Road out in the Hoover area. It's just a small unincorporated island. We've seen this property in the past. There have been several proposals for development, including, I think the most recent was the soccer field. At one point in time, they requested to do a B drive facility, a contractor's office. And then prior to that, there was also a request for a veterinary clinic that had outdoor runs. All those have been denied by opposition from the neighborhood, the adjacent neighborhood, the Talheim area down in Hoover. This proposal, however, is for to go from CP, which is office, to I-1 light industrial, to allow for it's a bakery, essentially. What they'll do is they'll make the cookie doughs and cookies to distribute to different retail facilities. So it would all be wholesale. This has this facility. The neighboring property owners, the ringleader of the neighborhood property owners who have been in opposition to past requests has actually sent a letter in support of this particular request. So they provided this site plan that shows how the cookie fix operation will work with the loading in the front, parking in the front, and then they also include a natural buffer on the rear. This was in conflict with the land use plan. However, the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend to amend the land use plan to allow for this particular use. So thus it is compliant with the amended land use plan by the Planning and Zoning Commission. Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval with limiting to the neighborhood retail wholesale operation and increase allowed in the CN neighborhood commercial district. They limited the hours of operation from 6 to 10. Development of the property shall be a substantial conformance to the site plan that was just shown. It shows that buffer along that end that's adjacent to the residences. Any off-site lighting shall be directed downward. No outside storage. Any building on the property shall be no more than 30 feet in height. The buffer as depicted on the site plan along the southwestern property line of lot 2 shall be maintained in perpetuity. And then the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend another condition that says lot 2 shall be reserved for office use only. You see how that kind of conflicts with the other, requiring substantial conformance to the site plan, which shows nothing, as well as the buffer. So staff is recommending to remove or delete that particular covenant. And if they were to come back and want to develop that southern property, they would have to go through the entire rezoning process. Any questions?
I would like to add an item on their approval with conditions that they deliver cookies here to. Everything's good. Do I have a motion?
Move the item.
Motion. Second. All in favor? Aye. All right, remediation contract.
Sir, good morning, Commissioners. So item number 3 is remediation of a blighted property on 3056 Jackson Road. Commissioner Knight, as you know, we've kind of been going back and forth at this property. We've given them multiple violations for a week later. Just persistent non-compliance. This is our next step.
Been a headache for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Right, Zach? Oh, Zach. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Second.
A motion second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
While we have Josh up here, I'd like to let it make everyone aware of the problem that we have, an ongoing problem. It appears that through our inspection process, is it our rules and our regulations require some pretty strenuous compliance. That if you're a small business person in Jefferson County trying to make a living, that some of the things that we put out there and to make sure that everything is safe it actually becomes a barrier to entry or a barrier to re-entry for some of our businesses. We need to look as a commission, as far as our policy goes, at another, perhaps an additional set of regulations for family-owned and small businesses, that sometimes that we put some undue restrictions on those that actually keeps them from growing and prospering and doing what's needed and necessary. Now and I'm not talking about your McDonald's. I'm not talking about your corporates that needs everything done the way they should be, because they have $5, $7, $10 million worth of sales coming through your average McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. So I think that they, with the density that they have, they need to follow those regulations. But at the same time, we have a different set of rules for our household and what it requires to bring them up to code. We need to look at that, because we have businesses that are opting to go into municipalities because they are more business friendly. Our guys have become barriers to entry, and I'll give you the example that I'm using. I'm talking about J&J Groceries down. They're very, very small folks. It's family owned. The husband is retired, and that, depending on that for their business. They've been trying to get open for 5 weeks. And it's hard for someone trying to feed their family to not be able to do what they need to do, because you didn't have a set of stamp drawings, or you didn't have this, or you didn't have that. And sometimes the level of sophistication to know how to accomplish this is not there in those small businesses. Perhaps we should offer that assistance of what they need up front to be able to help them to be successful, instead of them wanting to move their business to Bibb County where they can get it open pretty quick, or moving into a municipality that our inspection services does not oversee. I know we've had that in West Jefferson. I know that we were making things real restrictive there, so we'll do our own. And it's counterproductive, because our guys know what they're doing, and they're following the rules, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and holding these people to some set of standards that really I don't think is necessary in order for the business to be safe and productive. And that's not a particular problem for this instance. That's a systemic problem that we have. Our culture that we've been able to instill in our top management staff is one of being helpful and assisting. I don't know that we have extended that culture down through the ranks to where everyone wants to be helpful. And that's as kind as I can put that, okay? I think that we as a commission need to work hard to instill that culture and to set that policy, that because small business is a backbone of America. And people, we do not need to have barriers to that entry. We need to be able to help them all we can. And I'll be quiet there and expect that policy would begin to be implemented and put forward, that we begin to use common sense in some of these things that we do.
All right, that's what I'm talking
Well, let me just ask, if you're going to start having two sets of,
No, I actually asked for them to look at that. It'd be similar to what we do with our building permit. You don't bring someone's small home up to public supermarket standards. There's two different set of rules.
is this a grocery store out of a home?
This is a small have you ever had J.J. Hamburger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So I don't have to describe it any more than that. Everyone knows it's an iconic,
That's a restaurant.
it's
In a grocery store, a little grocery store. But that's where people go get the burgers.
that's where they go to get their burgers, and these are folks that they're not very, they're feeding the family with it.
But
They're
they've been
not,
open for a long time, so is there something
they required an upgrade. And the upgrade, they had to go with a fire suppression hood that had to be reported to the fire department. It's overly restricted, Joe. And
It sounds like.
I don't
what you're saying is that
need to- I don't need to describe it any further than
Provisions
that.
to support small businesses.
we need to be
Yeah.
able to support these people instead of making.
Try to
them
bring
restricted.
business in instead of running them
Get
off.
that. They've been out there a long time. I wasn't aware that there was a problem. I did go by there one day and they could only get a hot dog. They couldn't get a burger.
Couldn't get a burger.
They said their hood was out or broken or something.
It's another restaurant down in Bessemer, they did the same.
And it's the same.
A cafe, they're doing them all.
I'm just saying we have to be careful about having two different rules.
And that's the reason I brought it to the Commission for Policy, is that I think that's something that we need to look at and we need to explore. We need to be small business friendly, because if you look, our small businesses are leaving. They're going somewhere else, and we don't need that. We need to make this a community and a county that you want to live in and raise your family in and have your business in. And I'm not fussing at anyone in particular. I am saying that this is the policy that I want everyone to be aware of. And if you're not aware that problem's been going on for 5 weeks, like you wouldn't know. I can show you my phone that is blown up. And I explained it yesterday that they don't know who he is. They don't know who he is, but they sure know who I am. And they would sure know who you were if you were having problems for 5 weeks to get a small business open on technicality.
So are we asking then for?
We're not asking for anything. I'm just asking to be aware of
Let me
it.
finish my question. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it seems as though we need to seek the counsel of the county attorney's office to see how we can have provisions that deal with the quantity of the size of the business versus an anchor tenant that would have to be more restrictive. And we don't want it to be necessarily less restrictive. We just at least want to be in a position that we can support small businesses based upon the quantity of the clientele that they have, and don't treat them as that they are a larger size business. That's what you're basically
And
saying.
don't treat them like they're second class.
Oh, I agree.
All right. That's the bottom line.
It's a lot of small.
Don't treat a
small-
hot dog stand like you would
Well,
a
it sounds to me
restaurant.
that.
Well, why wouldn't you?
It just sounds to me that
You-
this
you're selling
will be a
food,
universal
right?
They
policy.
ain't
that I
selling no
believe that can
steaks,
work
and you don't
throughout.
have to keep hot dogs the same temperature you do a steak.
All right, well,
So
I'm
why
not
would you-
arguing, I'm not arguing that. What is the,
I mean,
Are they- you said-
wait a minute, hold on, Joe. Is that what you're trying to achieve?
What I'm trying to do, I wanted everyone to be aware of that and the differences in the type of businesses that we have, and we're trying to apply the same rules on a $20 million Chick-fil-A as you do a $150,000
Hot dog stand.
hot dog stand. And common sense says that's not right. And all my intention was today was to make everyone aware of it. And we have good management, we have good staff, and they'll correct it if they understand and know the problem. And once they understand and know the problem, if they choose not to fix it, that falls back on us for policy.
well, but I heard you
I don't
say-
have the answer.
I know, I heard you say something about something fire hood, something that they required to have some kind of special hood to, because I mean, they cook right in there. Is that what the problem is, or is it just?
The problem is that they've been going back and forth with inspection services for 5 weeks. When something's fixed, something else is wrong. And
All right, okay, so they're not,
it's not one thing now, and this has been ongoing, and Heather, I've talked with Heather, and Heather's tried to fix it. Cal's tried to fix it. It's different dealing with small businesses than it is with large corporations. And you can't apply the same rules to a Chick-fil-A that you do a small business. Because A, they don't have the capital to do what's needed and necessary. So if you either say, well, if you don't have the capital, you don't need to be in business. That's not what we're trying to say. We're trying to figure out a way to work with them to try to make sure that gets done. And they deserve the right to be successful the same as everyone else does. And they probably spent way too much time on it.
they've been out there for years.
They've been out there for
So
years.
is there
and
a
they would like to
change?
continue.
Huh?
And they would like to continue.
And so there's been a change in some kind of,
Well, they wanted to upgrade. They wanted to make it a little bit better on the people.
okay.
And then when they wanted to change their hood out, and when they updated the wiring, they got it.
It calls for another inspection.
Yeah,
And the inspectors came out and put a large restaurant rules on a cafeteria, like a cafe. They did another restaurant like that investment.
Let us know when they get that fixed, Josh, 'cause those
Come
are
on.
burgers.
No, but especially,
It should be this week, I think.
but if we're gonna do it, but
It
I
smell like a burger when you come out of there, but that's okay.
well, but I think if we do it as a policy, then it's applicable to.
Well, I think that goes.
Every business.
I think it goes there and.
No, I get it, Joe, but what I'm saying is that then it would be, but what I'm saying is I don't want us to single out one business. I'm going to actually support it because it needs to be universal.
Amen.
And if it's universal, then that means that even the cafe we have across the street can be eligible. You understand? Everybody is eligible when you make it equal access. That's all.
But the problem is that each individual municipality has their own inspection services, or most of them do.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm dealing with is mainly those in
That are
unincorporated.
imposed on us.
Or
by us.
Or we have some municipalities that use our inspection services. And then some to who they once used our inspection services have now chosen not to. Okay? So we need to be more inclusive in what we do.
And we need a cost-efficient policy. That's what it's
And
saying.
it needs to include everyone.
I agree. I like it.
That really wasn't.
Universal policy that works for all of the county small businesses.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. I didn't mean to.
All right, we done?
We just been going, yeah, I hope.
We done with Josh?
I sure hope so.
All right. General Services. Trish, are you on?
I was presenting for Tricia.
Right here. Okay, go ahead.
So they have one contract for one-time integration services of their NAE controlled components. So that's going to be the automation of their mechanical systems. The contract, $48,000 for professional services.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, I've got a public service grant, and we're going to do a proclamation for Miss Emma Terry on Thursday. Do I have a motion?
Move that items 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That concludes my report.
Administrative and Infrastructure Committee, we got an intergovernmental affairs with the city of Birmingham for Floyd Bradford Road storm drain, pay resolution for Vulcan Pump Station, grant agreement for the Soil and Water Conservation District, easement of correction for Alabama Power in Gardendale, and a pay resolution for the Youth Detention Center expansion project, Track 1.
Thank you.
Motion.
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
On the Floyd Bradford, that is a revenue?
Yes, a revenue
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah. Yes, that's been done, yeah. Okay.
County Attorney, we have the minutes, we have a,
I move 1 through 5 on the county attorney's
Second.
agenda.
there we go, thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
County Manager has 5 items. All of these are, you want to do those? Heather, you want to do those?
Certainly. So we have several adjustments as we go through and continue to manage our ARPA funds. So the commission has done the full allocation, so now as we close out projects or shift things around, we have to reallocate within category and kind of follow on with what that plan was. And so the first one is just an adjustment to an existing contract with JCEIDA to extend some of the time periods and to make a minor adjustment. The next one has to do with a time extension under an existing contract. The number 3 is a shifting within the category. There was some advertisement services and then some tuition support services. The advertising was not fully expended, so that has been shifted over to increase the amount of available tuition assistance. They have lots of interest in that program, are on track to fully expend those amounts. The next one is an allocation for some equipment. And then the last is to shift within a category for the same project to allow some engineering work that had previously been kind of held pending the outcome of the construction dollars, and so that's shifting it from the construction bucket into the engineering bucket.
I move 1 through 5.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. PIO, Helen, you're not doing anything? Nothing again? Quiet, that's good. All right, I've got 4 district grants.
Move items 1 through 4.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner, this Legacy YMCA is an extensive of food program, doing a good job down there.
Yeah.
Maytown, got some paving in there that, out District 3, that includes that, and I appreciate the ability to utilize our county people within the municipality. That is a good program that we have. It gives us the ability to put some dollars where they're not usually spent. And I want to thank the commission for doing that, and thank our roads and trends and our management staff for having that policy to get that done. Like for you to look at maybe doing that a little bit in the future too. District 2.
Good morning, Commissioners. Community Development and Health Services Committee, we will skip all the way down to Dr. Hamilton.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning. We just have one item this morning, a resolution for the Commission President to sign a preliminary award letter for the bridges in Hastings. This is a city rental development, again, being built over in Henson, with us putting in over $3 million from our home funds to be leveraged with the low-income tax credits in the amount of $12 million.
Move
Second.
And first and second, all in favor, say aye. We would go all the way to the Sheriff Department, Wayne Rogers.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is just our standard E911 contract for the year previously budgeted. The contract's already ready to go, and just the acknowledgement by the Commissioner of the contract. Any questions about that?
Acknowledgement only, y'all.
Good, send it down.
Then first, I have a first, can I get a second? Then first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
Okay, I have a presentation for the commissioners from the Bessemer Cutoff. We have the Clay House group is here, Ms. Neal. Thank you.
Greetings, Commissioners. Thank you so much for letting me speak today. My name is Maya T. Williams. I'm the Executive Director of Playhouse, better known as Playhouse. We are a child advocacy center located in Bessemer, and we serve the families in the Bessemer Cutoff, which includes 9 jurisdictions. Our center provides free services to children who have experienced some type of trauma. These services include forensic interviews, family advocacy, and community engagement. We believe that every child and family deserves some type of support during this difficult time. That's why we plan on expanding our services. We want to expand free mental health counseling, parent support groups, utilize our emotional support animals through the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, and additional care for victims of human trafficking. Our goal is to offer wraparound support to the entire family, just not the child. As you may know, child abuse and neglect ranks the 9-number health issue in the state of Alabama. So sadly, within the last 3 years, our number of cases have increased. If you all guys look today, we have a handout which provides to you the number of children we have served within the last 4 years, the municipalities we serve, and the current services we provide. So far this year, we have served 55 children and their families, and we anticipating serving 125 kids by the end of the year. Many of the communities we serve are low income and lack the access to resources for children who have experienced some type of trauma, and that's where Playhouse comes in. Our forensic interviews cover anything from sexual abuse, physical abuse, witness to any type of crime, and the list goes on. The Bessemer Cutoff, as you may know, has about 160 residents and includes 100 schools. Our team consists of 2 full-time staff members, 2 interns, and we're actively in the community visiting schools, churches, and other events, basically to explain what mandated reporting is and basically how to prevent and recognize child abuse and neglect. Playhouse, we continue to operate through the support of our residents, our state leaders, federal funding, which has been cut by 20%, assistance from our municipalities, fundraisers, and general donations. But the continued support of our commission is essential to continue the work that we do. I respectfully ask that you continue to support Playhouse and consider us in your 2026 budget. Thank you.
Do I have any questions? Very familiar with your program. I have been out there, and I truly believe in the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation, and that's the end of my report.
Mr. President, let me say something. Would you mind, ma'am, standing back at the podium? There was a child that obviously, I'm sure you know, when you spoke about traumatic counseling. Stay strong. I was about not to say anything, but I thought it would be good for me to. The child died around the corner from me, and I you know, I don't want to speak to it because I don't know all the circumstances surrounding it. But for a child to be in DHR care, and I don't know what in the world that would possess anyone to leave a child in the car for 5 hours. 5 hours away from a child, period. That is really, that's eating away at my soul because as hot as it's been, I don't understand it. And I immediately thought about that. You know, when you work with children all the time, it's just, sometimes in this good old government, you end up being just a number instead of a person. So I appreciate your service.
Yes, and Commissioner Scales, and that's why we really want to create these parent support groups, because we understand when something happens to a kid, that parents really don't have the support they need to actually get through it. We have the services for the children to get through it, but we really don't have the services for the parents to get through it, because their kids may have changed throughout that time, and so we want to be able to give them that support.
Thank you. Thank you.
Send them out.
That's the end of your report?
Yes.
District 1.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Works, Governmental, Community Services, and Governmental Relations. One item on the Board of Equalization, I do see that we have Ms. Knight present. If you all have any questions, that item is regarding data software for the Board of Equalization. And so do we have any questions as relates to this item? If not, I'll entertain a motion. All right, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Ms. Knight's there, I'd like to address something with her. Please.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I had a call this morning, and it may be something that we can do through your office. There was a recent legislation that's passed that limited the tax increases to 7%. We have many people in Jefferson County who, whether they live here or not, they own property in Jefferson County, and it's been a constant battle, and I had to remind them of this, and it's they would say that they would have, say, a warehouse, and it would be valued, and they would protest it to you, and you would reduce the value. Say it's a $20 million warehouse. Say you reduce it $2 million. The next year, the value would automatically go back up, and you would have to protest that year after year after year. No matter whether the valuation had changed to the Board of Equalization or not. And I was receiving that complaint 7:10 this morning. So I reminded them that we did have legislation now that would limit that to a 7% increase year after year. Am I correct when I say that?
The 7% increase is on the assessed value, not the market value. So the value will reflect what's going on in the market at the time, and then once it gets to the tax assessor's office, the assessed value, which is the market value times the assessment rate. For the commercial side, it would be 20%, and whatever that assessed value is, it has a cap based on what that assessed value was for last year. When we send out valuation notices, it does not include that 7% cap. It's just a reflection of what the market is doing. But the assessed value is what the cap is applied to. So if the market is saying that a $20 million warehouse and other comparable type structures are selling for $22 million, then we would use that information to establish a value for that, for that particular area. However, if they received a reduction based on a protest hearing, then the final value times the assessment rate would be the current value, but it would drop back to 7% of the prior year's value. And that's reflected on the tax bills, not on the valuation notices.
That was very well explained, and I appreciate that. Is there any way that we can get that out to the public to understand that?
We actually have an item on the valuation notice that states that the senior exemptions and the 7% cap is not applied to the market value of this notice. So it is there. We had we really wanted to include the cap value on the valuation notices, but they fluctuate so much. So by the time when we do valuation notices, this year they went out in May. There could be changes that are constantly moving in the assessor's office, so it might not be applicable when the bill is finally produced. So we had a meeting with the collective tax arena folks that affected, and they did not want to have that listed on our valuation notices because they thought it would be confusing in the long run. If they had made an error and had to make a correction for some reason, then they were concerned about that.
You know, I've spoken up twice, one for a very, very small business owner who felt like that it was being probably not applied to everyone. And now I'm speaking for a very, very, very sophisticated business owner that has really the same feeling. So I guess what we need to do is through your communication, we need to try to make everyone aware and do what we can to be more business friendly and explain to them. If people don't like surprises, and if they're expecting a significant increase, they can plan for it during the year and alter what they have going on. But if they're continually in court with our group, and this is state too, it's state also, it makes it difficult moving forward. And I guess my whole theme today is trying to be more business friendly and more consumer friendly. I know we've tried to instill that. I know the commission feels that way, and our upper management staff feels that way. We just need to get that down throughout the level and be able to communicate that to our property owners and our residents, and tell them we appreciate it. Thank you for doing business in Jefferson County. All right, I'm quiet again.
Good job explaining that. That's a complicated process.
It is.
And of course, we have to keep in mind that sometimes you can be excluded from the cap. If you've made significant changes to your business or the residence, then that cap amount comes off, which skips you over possibly several years of market increase and may give a big impact, because for 3-4 years you've been limited to a 7% increase when the market is maybe increasing by 15% each year. I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. But when you make a change, a significant change, if you make some additions and change the square footage of your property, or if ownerships change, then that cap value that is not kept up with the market value will jump way up because it goes to the current market value of that year. So there are some possibilities that, still might be a little bit of a shock for some people when those transactions are removed from the cap rate. But if you have applied for the cap and you've been approved, the good thing is just to keep in mind that every year until unless something happens to change the legislation, you'll only have a 7% increase.
But you don't have to apply for that 7%.
You do not have to apply.
That's statute. Right.
Unlike the senior
Right.
Exemptions,
Right.
you have to apply through
Yes,
the
I'm
tax
very
system.
well aware of the senior exemption.
So it's automatically put on there through your office?
Yes, ma'am. The software will calculate it in the end that even if there's a market increase and the value of the property actually goes up, you will be billed based on a 7% increase from what the prior year assessed value was.
It's always been like that. I'm talking about the system automatically have always done that.
Well, of course, the bill was just introduced, so for the last 2 years.
It's still good.
Very smart.
Which is, we're very happy with E-Ring because it allows our office to eliminate a whole lot of calculations. So it's done automatically and hopefully lessens the chance of errors.
And that bill was originally trying to cap it at 3, but they settled on 7. And doesn't it have a sunset provision in there?
Next year.
Okay.
So we probably need to talk to our legislator. See where we are. I know this, I'm looking around this room and sometimes that's counterproductive. So we depend on taxes for what we do. But at the same time, we need to be responsible in what we ask for and to enable us to do what we need to do. And that's something that we as a commission need to sit down and work together and to make sure that we have that type of policy and what level of service we want to deliver. Now, everyone talks about how expensive it is to live in Jefferson County, but really, if you're living unincorporated Jefferson County, our tax base is not really that bad, but many of our municipalities and with their municipal taxes and the school taxes is actually what drives the tax bill up. So, we can tell everyone and let everyone understand that. I think it makes it easier for us to explain. And it seems like the last 2 weeks that all I've been doing is explaining. And I felt that it was necessary today to bring that out and let everyone know what we have. And if it's a problem in my district with people, it's going to be a problem in everybody's district with people. And they just hadn't talked yet. So, thank you, Maria.
And Commissioner, if you would like a report, I'm speaking in advance of our software, but there's probably a report that we can run to show the differences if the 7% cap is not in place, to give you an estimate of what the difference of the tax dollars might be.
That would be great. Thank you very much.
I have to check it out to make sure that can be done.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, we have one item regarding a board appointment for Forestdale. That's Janet Clayton. Okay. All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. That ends our report. Environmental Services. Oh, forgive me, please. Okay. Environmental Services has 2 items. One is dealing with Valley Creek. That's phosphorus removal. And number 2, we have an automated or automation controls replacement. Do we have any questions as it relates to either of those items? This is on 5 Mile Creek.
Move on into.
All right, seeing that we had no questions, move the item 1.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. That ends my report. Thank you.
All right, County Manager.
I don't have anything, sir.
County Attorney.
All good.
Commissioners. We're adjourned. You're doing what you're doing. But I'm not